everyone, and welcome to The Wave. I am Executive Director of the Revere Chamber, Erica Porzio, and my colleague.
Hi everyone, I'm Anasha Girma from Pratt Properties powered by Century 21.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in today. We have a very special guest, and we look forward to shedding some light for our local business owners. Tune in. And we are back today with our very special guest, Business Liaison of the Community and Development Department, City of Revere, Mr. John Festa. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're honored. It's John Festa. It's on The Wave, guys.
I am just so excited to be here, and to be with the two of you, and with so much going on in the city, and it's been an honor here. And I have to say that when I see Bob, what he has done, Bob Dunbar, for the city over the years, we go back a long time, so I had to put that in. But between the three of you, it's just utterly amazing. I'm honored to be here.
We're honored to have you. And with that, I do have to say that this is very special because Mr. Festa has quite a few agenda items that he's going to cover today with regard to the city, business development, and such. But it's special for us, especially myself and Anasha. And, we've had the opportunity to work with you a bit, and I know that I have had the great opportunity to work with you, even more so as of recent, helping business owners. So before we start, I just want to say it's really special because, I mean, everybody knows you, John, and we're talking to the community that you have served for a very long time. But before we start, I just wanted to ask, if you could shed some light. How did you get started in the city? And tell us a little bit about you and your background.
Okay, well, thank you. I started working and, ended up going to Boston College, and I got my master's at Northeastern University, and then I started working in my father's business. And my dad, God rest his soul, he developed some properties in the city, and so I was very fortunate to learn a lot from him, and about people and treating people, but also working extremely hard. So I had a great role model, and to be able to have him. And so as I continued in that field, I was always interested in politics, and so then I ended up running for Ward 6 councillor, and I was a Ward 6 councillor for 6 years, and then I ran for mayor in 1991. Unfortunately, I didn't win, but met a lot of wonderful people, though. And that's one thing about politics is a lot of people dislike it, but I like it because you meet so many great people. So what had happened was, and then I was working my private business, which I still have a private business today, but something was missing, and I still like dealing with people and trying to help them in various capacities. And so what happened was in 2012, I was appointed as the Director of Development in the City of Revere. And when I ended up taking that position, I was planning on only staying 1 year. And then, quite honestly, I really enjoyed it so much that I stayed, and it was under the Rizzo administration, and then it was under the Rigo administration, and now under the Keefe administration. I've been honored to be serving under all three, quite honestly. And you learn so much about all three, and what their goals are, and how they're really trying to help people. So my point in saying all this is that, and then I started liking it. And then when you see you can have like an impact and truly see the smiles on people's faces from a business perspective, because that's what I was doing. And I continued, and I love it, and I enjoy it. People ask me all the time, as I get a little bit older, do you really like it still? And I truly do, and I say that from my heart. I really enjoy when people are asking me to be able to help them in how do you start a business, all the programs that we're having, and how all the administrations really cared about the community and what we're doing. And so it was a good mixture, and that's why I'm still here.
We're really grateful to have you.
Thank you.
I can say, especially in my position with the Chamber, as we work with business owners and such, many people reach out, and John's going to cover today some of the items, some answers to questions that folks have in our community about opening businesses. But many people come to us because, of course, we're the Chamber, and they need resources, they need help. And I have to say, as busy as you are, John, and you are a busy gentleman, and you do have a tremendous amount of responsibility in this city, you always find time to be there and sit down with these people. So we have had countless meetings. Anasha has witnessed it herself. We've sat down you are always willing to lend an ear, lend a hand, and I just want to say that it makes our organization a lot easier. It makes it easier for us to take care of people, get people in business locations, and most importantly, you really solidify our relationship with community development. So I just want to thank you so much for that.
Oh, that's so nice. You're saying that really touches me in a lot of ways, and that's my job. But when you love what you're doing and you put your heart and soul into it, I don't want to come across the wrong way, but I really do. And when I deal with people, I met you. I mean, it's just wonderful to see how we're progressing and what we can do for the city. And I thank you for the compliments.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I know I could sort of lay on more compliments here, but it has been an absolute pleasure to work with you, John, and to get to know you. You know, it is sort of my personal goal to become like you, so kind and so giving, and someone who is just always available to everyone. So thank you for being yourself. Really appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much for the kind words. That means a lot coming from both of you, and that makes me feel good that I'm doing my job correctly, and also, but I do care about people as well.
Right,
So, but
right.
thank you so
Your
much.
integrity and kindness
Wow, I'm on cloud nine
shows.
now. Geez, I gotta come on more often.
And so with that, I'd like to start to kind of go over some of the agenda items that we're going to discuss today, or
Okay.
rather that you're going to shed some light on.
Okay, great. Do you want to start with the storefront? We have so many programs going on.
I know.
So I'll start with the
Yeah.
storefront and signage program that we have. We started a storefront and signage program for phase 1 on the Broadway corridor. And what the city is offering to these businesses on Broadway is that we can do the facades. We can give up to $50,000 for the facades and up to $7,500 for signage. So we want to try to change the aesthetics of Broadway so that more people can come here, shop here, enjoy the Broadway corridor. And so we, on phase 1, was very, very good. Between phase 1 and we started phase 2, which is closed now, and we're helping over 25 businesses, and we really want to change, and that also includes Shirley Avenue now.
Okay, excellent.
Which is great. So we're expanding, from Broadway to Shirley Avenue, but we're really, as I said, we're really trying to make an impact on people that we want them to feel comfortable with the city and take advantage of these programs that we have. So there's an application to fill out. We're going over the applications, and we're doing a lot. And so I think after this year, no, I don't think, I know, after this year, you're going to see Broadway be transformed greatly in a lot of different fashions. And one is the storefront and signage, and then you're going to see the end of this year Shirley Avenue as well. So we're very, very excited about the storefront and signage program that we're doing, how we're expanding, and we want to continue throughout the whole city at some point in time.
Absolutely, and thank you for saying that. So we have a bit, obviously it's not a set timeline, but like you said, thereafter this year, we can expect to see some things kind of roll out.
Correct.
And so just to be specific so that the community knows, so you touched upon the fact that, it's been a very successful through phase 1. Now you guys are heading into phase 2 of the development plan. What should we expect?
Well, I think what you're going to expect on these programs, we hired a consultant, Gamble Associates. So what happens through the bidding process? And when we hire them, this is a professional designing the buildings and the signage for these businesses. So what's unique about this is it's Gamble Associates and Omloop is in conjunction, and they do the designing for us. You're going to see very unique types of facades and also signage. And what they did is they talked to the owners and the people, and they said, well, what would you like to see? And what we feel strongly about is getting feedback from the ownership of the businesses to keep the integrity of what they want and don't change the individuality of their businesses and to maintain that. And yet look to the future a little bit as well. So he designed 3 types of designs for each business and signage, and then it's up to the owner to be able to come forward and choose. So they have a say as to what's going to happen, because a lot of the buildings on Broadway and even Shirley Avenue have their own unique features.
Absolutely.
And so we don't want to just come and destroy that. We want to maintain that,
Right.
but with a little bit more upgrading, and I think what you're going to see, to answer your question, is you're going to see a really impressive downtown area from an aesthetic standpoint. So hopefully it'll attract more businesses,
Yeah.
not only from Revere residents, but also from outside.
Absolutely.
How
Absolutely.
exciting.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
a
exciting.
beautification
Yeah, it really is.
Yes.
It's really quite exciting to be able to see, and it's going to be happening this year because, you know, obviously on phase one, it came into this winter seasons and the construction is a little difficult to do. But now on both phases, you're going to see implementation of all these different facades and signage. So wait to
love
see it.
it.
It's going to be
I
so
love
exciting.
Very
it.
exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
be
that's
great.
one of the things I love about Revere is that it honors and respects so many different cultures and communities, and I
Right.
feel that your process that you're discussing here sort of does the same.
You know, one of the things Mayor Keefe is strong about is that, and also participation from the businesses and all different diverse businesses. We want that. We want to try to, you know, maintain that for them, and also have the inclusion of, you know, we want their feedback, you know, and so on the signage and phase one, we'll get into the master planning process that I know you attended. You did a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
And so we're, like I said, we're going in so many different directions, but we're going in directions that really will change the corridors that we're working on. So we're excited.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, excited. So.
So let's see. Oh, it looks like we're heading into the Broadway master planning process.
Okay. Well, we're very excited about this. Okay. This is a study that Gamble Associates is doing. We got this from the local rapid recovery that we did in 2021 initiative. And so the master planning process is really something, as I stated earlier, the Mayor Keefe and the entire administration, community development, really wanted to have. We did a survey of what people want to see on Broadway. We have a vision and what we think we want and what we would like to see, but what I really like is that what we're doing is we're taking a survey and we're getting a great response on that, on what's working, what's not working, how we can, dealing with various issues. What type of businesses do you want to see there? What do you think we should be doing? Because that's a long corridor.
Right.
And so the master planning process that we had on April 1st, that meeting was very well attended, and we're going to have another one in June, and we're going to take the feedback. They're collecting data in terms of what they would like to see in the whole corridor, and they're breaking up the corridor in different areas, north, south, and the central corridor. And you know, as you saw at the meeting on the first, getting the input from the people, and they're telling us that, you know, there's certain things that they feel are really enhancing the area, and some are not. So our job is to listen, learn, take what Gamble has to show them, and then they're going to take this data, and then a presentation will be made in terms of what we think the future will be of the city, and what Broadway will be, you know, and how we can incorporate all these different elements of designs and recommendations from, not just from Gamble and not from just the city of Revere, but from the people that have businesses there, and also the residents.
Residents as well, yeah.
The residents, there's a lot of residential areas that abuts the businesses on Broadway. They should have an input on it.
Absolutely.
This is the opportunity. So I say to people, the survey is still open until the end of the month. So we really recommend that they take that survey.
Absolutely.
And it's not a survey that just gets thrown aside. We really look at that and say, okay, this is what they're looking at. This is what they're suggesting. How can we go forward with this? So we're so excited about this master plan. It's just at the beginning stages right now, but we had a meeting with the businesses. We had a meeting, and when you have these meetings, it's not just to have a meeting. It's about getting input, and
Exactly.
we're getting so much input from all these various businesses, and we're excited to see the outcome. And when you see the second one in June, I think people are going to be quite impressed with the possibilities, because there's also a number of parcels of land that could be developed in the city and are being proposed to us as we speak today.
That's very exciting.
Okay, yeah.
It is very exciting.
Yeah.
And your
Excellent.
enthusiasm is sort of coming through as well.
Oh, thank you.
So you said the second meeting,
Yes.
that's going to be in June. Do you guys have a date yet?
No, that's going to be determined very, very soon. It'll be determined
Absolutely,
within the next
yeah.
2 weeks, but it will be in June, and to have the second round and the second version of Gamble Associates showing what the corridor could look like
Right.
if certain developments take place, or if certain recommendations from the businesses in the community feel positive about it. And I know Mayor Keefe's going to look at it very, very closely and make decisions based upon what's the best for the city.
Great, Great. And so that survey is still live. Folks
is.
can still,
Yeah,
everyone hear that?
Absolutely.
In order to access that, you can go to the City of Revere's website. Community Development has the survey available as well, the Revere Chamber of Commerce, and we will be
Correct.
posting that again today after the show. It's on all of our social media platforms, so you can get it there. You're also welcome to reach out to us as well as John at the city if you need the link. But like John said, I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job, but what's most important, as Anasha touched on, is that the work that your department's doing, as well as with Gamble and the other developers, you guys are taking in what's most important, and that's everyone's feedback from this community.
you.
Residents,
Thank you.
school committee, counselors, people that work here, business owners. So thank you.
That's all. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
So let's see, Broadway wayfinding process.
Okay,
Tell us
so
about that.
yeah, we have a wayfinding process that's moving forward because what's happening is there's with Gamble Associates is doing this as well, and what's happening with the wayfinding program is that we're finding out that really Broadway is lacking a branding and wayfinding and an identity. So we wanted to, by having the wayfinding program, it's almost like having an awareness with signage, with different things to show people that it's not just a central business corridor that you can shop. There's other things that you can do on the Broadway, and then you can shop on Broadway. Meaning, what do I mean by that? Like you have the library, you have the Revere Historic Building, you have the Harry De La Russo Stadium. So if we can tell people like there's other things to do, but one of the things that we do here is about parking, and so we want to make sure that we are showing people that we do have availability in certain areas to be able to park. I think a lot of people don't know about the central. It's a central lot, and that's just one out of some of the other areas that we want to be able to provide in conjunction with the master plan. So everything's tying in, which is awesome. To be able to show people, okay, we're doing a master planning, or we'll get into the parking management study that we're doing, and if we can add the wayfinding issue to that, it's a good mixture to be able to show people, and not just people from Revere, people outside of Revere, to come. And because my job is to try to increase businesses for the city so that it can thrive even better for the businesses that are there, and for people that live in the area, and for the people that live in the city, that they can come in, shop, and find a nice parking space that it's there, it's available. And these are things that we're going to accomplish at the end of this. So you're going to see a very, very good wayfinding implementation very shortly, and we're excited about that as well. I mean that. I think that's why I say it's going to be such a transformation in the next year that I think that when we talk next year at this time, I know I'm going to be extremely happy, and I know that Keith and the administration will be as well.
Everyone loved their head up. So wait, you guys have been getting complaints about parking in this city?
Well, no.
Traffic?
Yeah,
No.
well, that goes into the parking. We're doing we got a grant to do a parking management study, a company called Stantec, Master Initiatives Program. And so they're looking at the parking along Broadway. What's working, what's not working. This is in conjunction with our parking department.
Right.
And they've been excellent. Zach Boba has been excellent.
Well, I see him every day up and down Broadway. If anything,
He's doing great. And, but it's working in conjunction with this company that's what they do for a living. So we had a meeting with some of the businesses, and they're saying that they expressed their concerns. So they're going to be addressing meters. What is the best way, to work with the businesses along Broadway so that they feel like the parking is not hurting them, that's going to help them. It was interesting to hear at the meeting on April 1st on the master planning process that people were interested in maybe looking to putting a parking garage up. One individual said to me, I'd like to see no parking on Broadway. So there's a lot of different concepts that Stantec is, matter of fact, they're getting data. They're going out and they're getting data at various times. Matter of fact, they're going to be doing one, I believe, on May 4th. And they're going to collect this data and make a presentation in June to the city on how we can make the whole corridor better from a parking perspective in terms of helping the businesses and what should be done, time frames, what meters need to be changed, what is needed to be able to keep revenue flowing, which is important, but also, businesses, it's tough nowadays, So we want to try to do everything we can and show them, not just say it, that we're going to try to do and work with you when we're hearing you.
Right.
Okay, and we want to make the changes that are necessary, and they're going to make the recommendations in June. So when I keep on saying this, but I am really excited about all these different things.
Well, it's only what?
It is
Less than 2 months away.
Correct.
I mean, that's
correct.
I do have a question. What about the traffic?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, the traffic is driving me crazy.
It is.
As a resident, as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I do real estate. I have to shoot all over the city every now and again. A
Yeah.
5-minute drive ends up taking me a half hour.
Right.
With all of this great stuff going on with building businesses, revamping all of these wonderful
Yep.
areas,
Okay.
we're going to have more traffic.
Okay.
What are we going to do about that?
All right, I can
Fair
answer
question.
that. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Unfortunately, Mass DOT has a say as to what's happening on Broadway. And I'm not trying to criticize them, it's just that they have a major say in what we do. And there's certain time frames that, there's no question, even I'm involved in, I go Broadway and I get frustrated and I say, okay, how can we alleviate this problem, right? And I know that I work with Julie DeMauro, a transportation coordinator, and addressing the issues, and we get that complaint. I think that if you really want to see something spectacular, you come to the meeting in June. And I think you're going to see some concepts that may be quite interesting to try to alleviate that question, because it is difficult. It is. We hear that, and that's where, if we can try to do some of these studies that we're doing and implement that to alleviate the traffic somehow, some way. I don't want to give it away just yet, but there is a concept that I think will be interesting to see if it's accepted with the city, or if it's what the city is looking to do in terms of the residents. But that's a tough problem. It's a combination of things.
Because you've got the beach traffic coming in.
Correct.
We're going to have these awesome businesses sort of coming in and building up what we already have.
Yeah.
So how are we going to manage to this? The one-lane roads on Broadway.
Yeah,
are they really going to
it's
cut
a different.
it?
It's a
Especially during school time, school
I'd be lying
hours.
to you if it's not an easy solution.
yeah.
But I can tell you this: it is being looked at. We know that that's a problem, and that will be addressed. And to see, even if we eliminate it to whatever the magnitude, we have to do something to eliminate the traffic on Broadway.
Right.
I mean, so it's something that we're not just saying, oh yeah, we have to do something about it, and then all of a sudden 2 years go by and we're not trying. We are actually, you will see something being recommended to alleviate. I'm not saying it'll alleviate the whole traffic, but depends on what transpires from these studies and what we really implement in the future. And I'm not trying to be evasive with you. I want to answer your question.
Of course, because
It
road
just-
rage is also a real thing,
Correct.
especially I get yelled at so many times.
Go to Route 1.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I've never experienced that. No, only kidding.
You haven't gotten yelled at. I've gotten yelled at.
I got yelled at, and,
You did hit on one thing, not to backtrack, but I do have to hit on one
Sure.
thing as far as the parking. You made a good point, because I live in that area. I'm in Ward 1. I'm on Central Ave.
Yeah.
There's a whole parking lot there. People don't use it. But there's still parking on Broadway by businesses, because I live 3 minutes from the office, the
Yeah.
chamber office on Broadway. I'm right next to that parking lot.
yes.
People aren't parking there, and the people that do, they park there regularly, but there's so much space, and
Correct.
it's 3 minutes to the center of the whole corridor of Broadway. So
Absolutely.
why aren't people parking there?
Okay, I can tell you what I hear, because I totally agree with you, because I go by there every day.
It's all
And I see
space.
the parking lot, and it's not being utilized. There's so much parking
I
there.
didn't even know we could park
There's
there.
so much
Well,
space
that
to
comes with the
park.
wayfinding.
Signage
That's
that
going to
says-
happen. Right.
right.
You're going to know that in the future, number one. But one of the things
I'll hold a sign for you if they need a way.
But one of the things I do hear from the businesses, well, at the meeting on the April 1st, they were talking about a garage possibly, whether it's in that location or various locations. But one of the things that is difficult is some of the businesses, they're saying that their patrons really don't want to, say for example, if you have a business on the southerly portion of Broadway or the northerly portion of Broadway, and say we was a concept being proposed to put a garage up on Central Ave. They feel it's too far of a walk to be able to park there and to be able to walk that far of a distance. So there has to be some solution on that, which is difficult. But when you have lots that, when people say there's not enough parking, yes, there may not be enough parking on Broadway because that's being taken, but you have these lots that can be utilized. Central parking lot. We have even City Hall parking
Yes.
lot. You have the
2 hours for free.
Correct.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah. So there's different elements where you have the vehicle, you have the space to be able to have the parking available. It's a question of location. It's a question of cost. A while back, we
signage.
even talked about doing a robotic type of garage to try to see. So we're looking at various
State-of-the-art.
things. Yeah.
You guys are on it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good.
And we're excited because, we know that, we're not going to be able to please everyone, but I think that if we continue what we're doing, when we continue what we're doing and we have some of the solutions to make it better, I think, you may not be happy with everything, but the majority you will be happy with at the final outcome because we have to do something.
Right.
And I think with all the exciting opportunities on Broadway, and Shirley Ave, but on Broadway, I think that, we can curb a lot of it and really enhance and get more businesses into, different types of businesses. We're hearing from businesses that they want to see various types of businesses.
Newer concepts,
That's correct.
different concepts. Yeah, of course.
So there's a lot, and we're going to keep working. Believe me, we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Oh yeah,
We'll
we
get
know
it
you
done.
will.
It's a
You guys are
process.
great.
It is.
I understand.
You guys have a great team over there, especially in that department.
We do. I have to say, our director Tom Zarowski is very in tune with everything, and and our whole group that we work with Julie and Danielle and not everyone in the department really
You
works
guys are
together,
great, yeah.
and we all take our role. We know what our role is, and bottom line is I come from that old school. You have to produce.
That's right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And God rest my soul, my dad. We all have a very we have a good work ethic, and I believe in that. And we want to see something happen. We don't want 5 years from now nothing is happening. We want to see improvements. And when you have that drive, not me, the whole department, it works out nicely. Yeah. We have good people like yourselves. We
That's right.
we
That's
have a
right.
good bond with the
And it
chamber.
shows.
It's
Going back
good.
to what you said, you love what you do, and we see that passion, and that it transpires.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the integrity and the genuine nature of the love
That's
for your
doing
work.
good business.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
In the wise words of the late Joseph Festa, be kind and do good business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I'll get emotional.
All right, let's not get them emotional because,
No,
Jan, we
thank
have
you.
one more important thing that
Go
we
ahead.
need you to cover.
Absolutely.
The great old question, how to open a business in Revere.
Okay. And I get that a lot, and I know both of you get that a lot as
Yeah.
well. So we have a brochure. I know you have the brochure on how to open a business. But what happens is a lot of times it depends on the nature of the business, right? So you really, I don't mean to sound the wrong way by saying this, but in the brochure, the first thing they should do is to give me a call, send me an email saying, this is what I've been responding to. And they tell me the type of business. So then I can direct them in terms of what their needs are, exactly what they want in terms of permitting. Is it allowed by zoning? What can they do to be able to get that to open up? Okay, they find there's 9 steps actually, and one is talking to people. It's not just about me. It's about getting a location, getting a business plan. Like we can recommend to them what to do to be able to move it forward. So it's very, very important that they know exactly what needs to be filed with us, a business certificate, what needs to be filed with the state. So when I go over with them, sometimes I say to them, don't get scared by this. It's just a process so that you have everything covered, and this is the fastest approach to get to the end result. And when they have to be in good standing with the city, and there's other elements, of what to do and how to do it. We have a site plan review process that is extremely helpful because what happens there on Citizen Serve, when I tell them what to do, they know where to file. There's no questions. They're not going in 20 different directions, but they're getting the answers at the site plan review. And I tell them, these are the permits that you're going to need. A certificate of occupancy, whatever permit is necessary to the License Commission to be able to make it successful. And so we want to limit the time. We don't want them to spend, one of the things I try to do with the businesses, don't spend any money. Listen first. Listen to what is needed before you spend a penny. I've seen too many times where they go out and they sign leases and then it's not allowable or they don't have enough. And it bothers me so much that I think that, it will start with me, but the end result is with the city's departments in terms of licensing, in terms of the building department. But I can make the process faster for them.
Thank you so much, John. And as well, I wanted to ask about the zero interest loan program that the city has right now for business owners. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We're very excited about that program. That was an initiative started by Tom Zalski, our director.
Amazing.
And we put together a good package where we can give to businesses in the city of Revere up to $50,000. Wow. It is a 0% interest loan, okay, for 5 years. Okay.
Wow.
And
wow.
And the application process is more streamlined than when you go to a bank. You know, when you go to banks and you go for financing, there's a lot more entailed. Not that we don't collect the documentation, we do, but we make the decision internally,
right.
which helps speed the process up for them. Now, there's a couple of things that they need to do, and that's create a business plan, but we have the technical assistance to provide the knowledge to be able to help the businesses do that. But the loan itself is for 5 years, 0% interest. I tell people all the time, take advantage of it. Right now, the person who's handling it is Tariq Madri, and I work with him, and I'm on the committee with him, and he, you know, it can help in so many ways, because for a 5-year period, you know, sometimes businesses need to be able to need a little help.
They need to get off the ground.
Off the ground,
yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
It just can't go for that program, that 50,000, and there are certain, it's actually 35,000, for $35,000. It can go up to 75 based upon the application.
Certainly,
There's
yeah.
a possibility, you know. And, but we say to people all the time, you know, and we're getting much more participation in that. I think you're spreading the word, and which
oh,
is
I'm
great.
certainly spreading the word. I'm working on business plans too. So.
No, and that's what we want. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
you're helping the businesses, and we say to them, take advantage of this, and it's increasing, and you know, it just doesn't go to like storefront improvements and so
Right.
forth. It's strictly for the operations of the business. So when you see the application, that application, I tell people, go online, see what, you know, get a little bit educated on that, and you can give myself a call, and I can set up the meeting, or just call Tariq Madri directly.
Absolutely.
And we can go over with them, and then what we usually do is we usually meet with them, get a feel for what they're looking for, you know, what is the best process in terms of if they need any type of other assistance in terms of the application. And
well, that's wonderful. So you also assess their need as well.
Correct. We do.
So not just pertaining to that application.
No, we talk and we look and we talk to them, and Tariq, myself, Danielle, and we go over, like, okay, we try to get a feel for them first.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
and what their needs are, so that they don't go through the process and then it's not really helping them.
Right.
You know, and we want to make sure that with the technical assistance and what their needs are, you know, some things can be corrected without that. But if they, you know, if they can go for that loan and get themselves back on a path of success, and when you do the business plans, as you know, because you do them, it really helps the businesses identify what their needs are. Sometimes they come in and they think they need X, Y, and Z, and when in essence they need more of something there that diverts from that. Right. So I love it because it's helping from a financial aspect, number one, first and foremost, but number two, I think it's helping them, I know it's helping them from an overall perspective of maintaining the success over a period of time. So
absolutely.
We want to help the businesses stay in business not just 1 or 2 years. We'd like to see them stay there for 10 years, 15,
right.
You know, if that's what they're looking to do.
Absolutely. And I love that you guys are assisting people with kind of the whole picture to help their
right.
business and get them what they need. And you hit a great point. So putting together a business plan, there are several components depending on
right.
you know, the type of funding and what you're trying to source, and as well as the type of business. But as John said, I couldn't agree more that as a business owner, as a professional, when you're putting together your business plan and you're going through all of this, you're going to understand, you know, what core objectives, you know, understand truly what that timeline is, right. Truly understand what the measures are and the metrics that are going to get you from point A to point B. And like anything else in life, in any plan, it needs to be strategic.
Right.
And it's nice to know that the city offers professionals like yourself, Tariq, and the whole department that can really help residents and business owners open these businesses and get what they need. So
absolutely.
That's core.
Oh, right. No, I totally agree with that. I just think, you know, they're getting what they need, and that's most important. And one of the things we really try to do is also make them comfortable in the whole process. they feel more comfortable with us than sometimes, not all the time, but like with the banks, going to banks sometimes, which is a little bit more difficult process. But if we make the process easier and we educate them, and then we, at the end have the funding for them, like it's a win-win. For
And
everyone,
it sounds
for
like
us.
you're providing mentorship as well.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
it's,
that's awesome.
It's great. We're so excited about it. When Tom initiated this concept, everyone was so on board.
We like Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, we like Tom.
I do too.
No. Well, John, thank you so much. You've covered a lot of different things, but you guys are very busy. Is there anything else that you kind of want to add?
I just want to say two things. One is, first of all, and I mean this sincerely from my heart, I want to thank both of you and Bob for having me on here today to be able to, really explain to people what we're doing, because sometimes people don't know all these programs. And
Absolutely.
so things like this are so important. And I just think that my bond with the chamber and how it's growing, it's been a while, and I see such a positive relationship between the chamber and the city, and I'm so happy about that. My dad, God rest his soul, was president of the chamber, so I have a special place in my heart, and I just love to see where it's heading. And you guys are doing a great job.
No, we appreciate that.
And again,
Yeah,
thank you for having
you.
me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And welcome back. That was a wonderful interview with
Oh
John
my gosh,
Festa.
I learned so much about what's happening in the city.
I learn so much from him every day, and we have the honor of being able to work with him all the time. But it was really nice to have him today. He's a legend.
Absolutely, his presence is absolutely magnetic. I love being around him.
Yeah.
What a wonderful human being.
And very helpful facts that he's offered on the many processes and projects that the City of Revere's community development is working on, as well as the mayor. And also just like really important stuff for business owners and community members. You want to open a business, John really hit on all of those things, and they can also be found on the city's website under community development. So just an FYI. But without further ado, let's talk about some upcoming events for the Chamber. What do you got for us, Anasha?
We've got some really exciting things coming up, folks. So first of all, this Friday, we've got our installation of officer ceremony where
We're going to officiate our positions into the board. This
Absolutely.
is huge.
it is huge. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. So this Friday, April 12th from 12 to 2, we will be at the Marina at the Wharf.
You got to, yep.
Apps
Delicious
will be
appetizers.
served, and it is open to the public.
That's right. So we're not even charging tickets, guys. We're just looking for the community support. This is a big day for us as professionals and for our organization. So we look forward to seeing everyone there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next, we'll have our networking night at Mike Aldi's new restaurant, Vivi's, from 6:30 to 8:30 on
April 18th. Looking forward to it. So guys, just a heads up, next networking night. And remember, always free for members. If you are not a member, $25 online or at the door.
Absolutely.
And what else we got, Anasha?
Well, we've got our first Business Roundtable panel, which is a series of 4 events beginning on May 17th from 8 to 10 a.m. The topic for this first one is real estate, and it will be at the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, 400 Ocean Avenue. So like I said, we're going to run 4 of these beginning in May, and they are every other month. So we're going to have our first on May 17th. Second is on July 19th, third, September 20th, and our final for this year is going to be on November 15th.
This is very exciting, and especially for our business community. We want you guys to know, as Anasha was saying, we're going to be alternating different industry-related topics. We just had John Festa. We're going to, really jump into some community development topics. We're going to hit on many different industries. And why this is so big is, if you haven't been to a roundtable panel discussion, this is a very formal, formatted discussion of professionals. So we're going to roll out more details on this so that our community, our members, residents, everyone can get involved. But ultimately, this is one of those professional business discussions where you have a panel of industry leaders that will, kind of create an agenda, and then we panel it out for a discussion. It's also a great way to network and a great way to create a referral system. So I can't say that enough.
Right. And adding to our list of exciting events coming up, on June 2nd, we're going to have our first annual Revere Business Cornhole Tournament at the Garfield School from 12 to 5 p.m.
Yes, yes, and this is huge. So we are going to be featuring, we have Murray's, so John and Greg of Murray's Tavern. They're going to be hosting a beer garden there, okay? So we're going to have that again at the Garfield School, as she was saying, and we're going to have that on the field. So on top of having all these teams, and we're going to relay more information about getting people involved. This is open to the community, teams for cornhole. This is in partnership with Revere Parks and Rec. So we're really excited to work with the city on this and have it open to the public, residents, children, families, business owners, you name it. But what's really cool is we're going to have the beer garden. We'll have the cornhole tournament, which is family fun for all. We'll also have a couple of vendors as well. So our very own Amanda Bonasoro, who is our second vice president of the board, is also the owner of Bono Appetit Meal Prep. Her and her husband, Chef Christopher Bonasoro. They'll be featuring a couple of their specialties at a table there. We'll have the great Mr. Bob Upton, who is the leader and owner of RevereBeach.com. So he'll have the RevereBeach.com swag there, a little table. Ooh. And most importantly, we'll have a food truck, the Esquite Eloti truck. So we're really excited about that because we're going to have some really good grub. This is a great event for people to get together, and this is fun for all. So we look forward to seeing everyone there. Garfield School, 176 Garfield Ave. And again, June 2nd from 12 to 5 p.m. Stay tuned for that.
Sounds like a boatload of fun, Erica.
I'm excited.
Yes, but folks, we're not done yet. On June 20th, we have our networking night at Drift from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
We love Mike all day.
Such great
He's got
food,
some great
honestly.
restaurants.
Yes,
so yeah,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to hanging out there. We have Vivi's in May, and then that following time. And I'm sorry, what date was that for Drift?
That was June 20th.
Awesome. All right.
Yes,
Great.
yes. So about 2 weeks or so after
Yeah.
the cornhole tournament, we're going to get together and have even more fun.
Awesome.
Okay. So next in August, we have another networking night from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. That's August 15th, and that is going to be at world famous Murray's.
Meet me at Murray's.
Meet me at Murray's, absolutely.
And what else we got?
So on September 17th, we also have another networking night at the Wharf from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
Awesome.
Sounds good, right?
A lot of networking nights, guys. So remember,
Yes.
become a member. It's cheaper that way. I promise.
Absolutely.
Free for members.
And it's so much fun to get together and meet everyone and
Yeah.
have all of this great food. Ready for the big one?
Oh boy.
Ooh, on November 9th, we have our 3rd annual gala.
Wow. And I mean, if you didn't go this past year, it was a bang. We really outdid ourselves, our team.
Can I tell them about
Yeah, please.
the theme?
Yes, please.
Ooh,
Yeah, actually,
okay.
Amanda told us that we are approved to do so. So please.
Fair enough. So come in dressed to impress. Theme is Old Hollywood. I can't wait to see what you'll be wearing.
That's right, guys. Old Hollywood theme, gala. We're doing it again at the Spring Hill Suites in Marriott, 400 Ocean Ave. And that will be catered by Mission Beach House once again because they are amazing.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I can't wait to eat the food.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be such a great evening. Okay, and our final networking night will be on December 12th. We're still waiting to figure out where that's going to be held.
So guess what? I have great news for you. Las Delicias Colombianas on Shirley Ave is going to be joining the chamber, and they have this beautiful lounge in their vicinity. If you have yet to be there, it's swanky. So we're going to have our networking night in December there on 12/12. So we're looking forward to that, and we're very excited to have Las Delicias Colombianas as a chamber member. So all good things to come. What a great way to cap off the year as well.
Absolutely.
It's one thing that we have the huge gala, which is amazing, but to have Las Delicias in that beautiful venue, it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sounds great. And that brings us to the end of our events list. Well, folks, thank you for joining us for our 12th episode of
The Wave.